Welcome back to the GM Academy. Of course, I am your instructor, Jim McClure, and we are working our way through our GMing at the game table series. And today we're at our 103 class, which is the 60-second rule. Now, the 60-second rule is an interesting rule that's designed to help you as the GM facilitate keeping your campaign moving, keeping things moving forward, especially within combat. And this applies to a lot of other sections as well, but it really applies to combat and any sort of rules-heavy system. And the 60-second rule is, at any point during your game, if you have a situation where there's a rules question, where you as the GM don't know the answer, of course this will normally pop up if you're new to the system or new to tabletop in general, but if there's a rules question where you don't know the answer, you have 60 seconds, you or your players, to find the answer to that question. And if you can't find the answer to that question within 60 seconds, then the GM makes a ruling on what the rule will be, and you move forward from there. So, to give you an example, if we were in combat and one of your players goes, I know somewhere in the book it said I can do a charge attack. I want to do a charge attack. Okay, what's a charge attack? You go to the rule book, look it up. You've got 60 seconds to try and find it. Can't find it within 60 seconds, then you as the GM, you decide right then and there what you get from a charge attack. Is it an extra space of movement or extra 5 feet of movement? Is it a +1 to attack? Is it +1 to damage? Is it, a +1 to attack and damage and -2 to your defense next turn? Whatever the case may be, you as the GM make an immediate gut call on what you feel the right thing is. That's the 60-second rule. And what you're trying to do is keeping rules learning outside of actual gameplay. Because when you should be focused on learning the rules of the game is before you start playing, after you start playing, as in after your campaign outside of the bounds of when you're at the table rolling dice, and when you're on breaks. Those are the 3 times. You should not be learning rules and learning mechanics while you are at the play space trying to actively have fun. And that's what you're trying to focus with with the 60-second rule, is to keep it so that the game keeps moving forward and mechanics are learned outside. Now, when you do this, what you're actually doing is not setting up that from now and forever, charge attacks are going to be +1 to damage. No, you are saying that this is the ruling for right now, and the next time that we hit a break, either once this play session is over, in between play sessions, when we go out and take a drink break, whatever the case may be, the next time we find a break, we are going to look up, we are going to find the official rule, and that will be the rule moving forward. But until we get to that time, I as the GM am making the decision, so we don't have to break the immersion of the game. We don't have to break the flow of the story and the flow of the combat that we're involved in to get an answer to a rules question. We're going to allow that flow to continue and then focus on rules when we're outside of gameplay. And that's what you're going with 60-second rule. Now, the other big thing is to make this work properly, you have to be upfront with your players. It's that simple. You have to tell them before the start of your campaign, before you're going to implement the 60-second rule, that this is what it's going to be. This is what it is. This is why I'm using it. And explain it. Be completely upfront with them, because then you will get understanding from your players that, oh, he's going to make a temporary decision on what's going to happen, and then we'll find it later. And it allows everything to keep moving forward. It allows everything to remain streamlined. I've not met a single person ever, a player that's gone, well, I think that's absurd. I think we should always stop and spend 10-15 minutes and argue over the rules and find an answer to it. Haven't come across that player yet. If you are upfront with them from the beginning, I highly recommend implementing the 60-second rule, especially if you're new to tabletop, if you're new to running games, or you're new to a system, because you're going to have a lot of these rules questions pop up. And if in 2 hours of gameplay you stop for 10 minutes 3-4 different times to look up rules, no one's really having enjoyment. Keep the game focused on enjoyment. Worry about rules outside of game time. That's been our 103 class. Class dismissed. Thank you for watching the GM Academy. You can click the video to see all of our classes on GMing at the game table, and you can subscribe to get all of the latest information videos from the GM Academy. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please hit the like button. It really does help us to continue to put out quality information to the community. Again, thank you for watching, and thank you for your support.